Hello there, my name's Mark Coulson, I'm editor of Total Kart Magazine, and we're at Stoneleigh today at the Tackle and Guns Show 2008. This is where all the companies in the fishing industry showcase all their new products for next year. One of the absolute standout products here at the show today, and I'm joined by Gray's Lee Collins, is there. It's the Torsion Bivvy, is it?
Yeah, it's the Torsion Bivvy. It's one of the new developments, obviously, in the bivvy market.
Yeah.
It's taken, obviously, over 3 years to develop this concept. It's taking the best of what was on the market available at the moment and putting it into the best bivvy, what we produce.
And there's something extremely unique about this, isn't it?
It's obviously the way the mechanism works for the bivvy to erect is the crucial factor.
It's actually, excuse the pun, it's a wind-up bivvy almost, isn't it?
It is a wind-up bivvy, yeah. It's a simple idea, but taking the concept from just the mechanism and then putting it into a bivvy concept, it is quite hard.
I know, obviously having been inside for the last day or so, you've had lots and lots of traffic on the stand, haven't you? Everybody's come to see this bivvy, and I know you told me this morning that even one or two other manufacturers had been round to see what all the fuss is about. Yeah. It's certainly one of the standout products.
It is sort of bivvy innovation at its forefront. Everybody else has sort of seen it and said it's a good idea, and why has nobody thought of it before?
Right.
For other manufacturers on the stand. So that's it. Yep.
Right, okay, well obviously the whole wind-up thing is for ease of use and speed of putting it up and down. I know one of the lads in your office can kind of set this up in about 90 seconds or something.
Yeah, just around a minute sort of time we can actually put this. Obviously this is just the final prototype, so it's not quite right yet.
Yeah, well we're not going to time you anyway, Lee,
That's alright, so it'll probably take about 5 minutes now. But,
okay. Well, do you want to just take us through it then and just, let's have a look, see how it actually works.
Okay, so the bivvy weighs about 5 kilos just in its format like that, with no ground sheets, with one standard panel on the front. You start off by just opening the bivvy out, like so.
So obviously that's going to be wrapped up in a bag, so it's out of the bag, it's as we've seen it now, yeah.
So you're just putting these into the eyelets, like so.
Right.
Like that.
One thing that we mentioned a minute ago as well, it's actually freestanding, isn't it? We haven't actually got any bivvy pegs, but you don't need them.
You don't need bivvy pegs, or you don't need storm poles or anything like that.
Brilliant.
So it just folds out like this.
They're pretty simple as well, they're just popping into place, aren't they?
They're just popping into place. Yeah. This is obviously aero-grade aluminium poles.
Right, so that's where the lightweight comes from.
Yeah.
What's the material, Lee?
The material is a Climatex fabric, which is a breathable fabric, which doesn't expand or doesn't contract in weather conditions.
Oh, excellent. So you sometimes get that with bivvies, can't you? When it's cold, you get that whole saggy effect, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out, or if even if you're fishing in the summer or whatever, you get that nice drum type bivvy, don't you?
That's what this is, yeah.
Right.
So we're at the point now where the bivvy can be erected.
Right, this is the interesting bit. So far, they're sort of easy, locked together, arms.
Yep.
And now this is where the real fun begins.
This is the wind-up mechanism
right.
now. So obviously
Excellent.
you just start winding this in a clockwise motion, and as you can see, the bivvy pops up now.
Brilliant. That doesn't look particularly difficult either. It's quite an easy process, isn't it? It's not, it's not hard. To wind it up.
It's just a physical winding motion.
Right.
On that.
Excellent.
So obviously now, just the 2 tension bars on the front. These just clipped in to give it the actual shape on the front panel.
Nice and rigid, even when it's not pegged out. And then pretty rigid, isn't it?
We put 2 door frame systems in here.
Right.
Because when you pull the front, because there's a peak here, the front would sag down there.
Right, okay.
Like that, on the front there.
Yeah.
So
this keeps it all nice and tight at that level, yeah. Brilliant.
Just adds a bit more stability as well.
And again, they just pop into place, don't they? Nice and easy.
You don't have to use these.
Right.
These are just personal preference.
Right.
People can use it without.
Excellent.
So that just goes in.
See as well on the front, you've got obviously the Mozzie mesh on the door. Is that, you say that this is a prototype, but will that be on the final version?
That'll be on the final version. There's 3 panels. You've got this is the green front panel with obviously the mosquito mesh on there.
Yep.
That comes with a clear window and a green panel on the front of that.
Brilliant.
And then there's another panel, a clear vision panel, and a full mosquito panel, which you can have 2 2 panels on at the same time, so you could have this panel and a mosquito, or the mosquito.
Oh, okay.
And
So
the
you've got them.
vision.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so you can chop and change in the middle of a session if you need to, or even in the middle of the night. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant.
If you want to use it, obviously all this zips off.
Right.
So
Just an open-fronted shelter. Yeah.
An open-fronted shelter.
Yeah. Plenty of room under there, Lee.
So yes, we've made it because obviously a lot of people are making the wider bed chairs.
Yeah, of course.
So then it turns, you have to use a 2-man bivvy to put the wide bed chairs in.
Right.
So we've made this like a 1.5 man.
Excellent.
So it's.
Tell you what, for the coverage underneath,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a huge piece of kit on the
No,
outside, is
no.
it? And I guess as well, with the way that those arms work, you've got nothing underneath, you know, like on the old brollies and whatnot.
No,
used to
that's
take
it.
up a
Yeah,
lot
you've
of
got no
space.
ribs or anything. Obviously,
Brilliant.
it comes supplied with a heavy-duty ground sheet as well, clips in, and obviously on the pegging points on the front. If you want to use it as an open-fronted shelter like so, if it starts raining or it's a bit windy, undo the tension strap.
Oh,
you can drop
okay.
it
You
down.
can flatten it right down. Yeah.
Can flatten it
Really
down as
keep
much
the
as you want
elements
there,
out. Fantastic.
and then just use it like so.
Excellent. Okay, so that's a Torsion Bivvy.
Yep.
Yeah. And when's that due, Lee?
That's due. We're looking around February launch on that.
February 2009.
Yep.
In the shops.
In the shops.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What sort of price are we looking at?
We're looking at $599 retail on this.
Right, and that's for everything.
That's
all
for
the fronts,
everything.
Ground sheet.
Ground sheet,
Pegs,
fronts,
etc.,
everything,
etc.
pegs. It's a UK made bivvy, so it's obviously that comes with a price point.
Right.
All
So it's
these-
all made in.
all made in
oh,
the UK.
excellent. Right. Okay,
All the
that's rare these days.
Yeah,
isn't it?
all the components are everything, so we can keep like stringent checks on all the quality and the material they're using. It's got to be produced in the UK.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thanks ever so much, Lee. You know,
Okay.
definitely keep an eye out for that one next year in the tackle shops, or you know, as you're watching this year, if it's 2009. Yeah, so you know, fantastic bit of kit, truly innovative. You know, and it's not very often that you come to these shows and you find something that's completely different to the norm. But I think you've cracked it with that. Excellent. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Cheers.